Well, as you boys and girls can see, we have it in there. Who am I kidding? My audience is 99.8% men. All right, boys, we got her in there. What we're going to do is we're just going to attach this just temporarily with 2 tacks here and 2 tacks here so we can get these clamps off, and we can move the clamps up to here, and then we can do that. And then once we get the fenders back on, you guys can get an idea of how she's going to look. So I'll probably bend the end of the fenders over and try to get a bolt from the fender to the rad support to try to hold it. Just need to push it back to get those bolt holes. And yeah, so that's my plan. But you can see how far this actually moved back. Like, this used to be 6 inches ahead. So by doing this, yes, we're leaving less space for the engine, but honestly, guys, I find it makes the fronts of these cars so much stronger. And now the rules state we can have 6 inches of plate. But before, if we never cut anything shorter, our 6 inches of plate only went to here. But now by adding plate, we can get it even longer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give it a couple tacks, and then I'm going to clamp these in here, give it a couple more tacks, and then try to go from there and see what I can do. So let's get this thing going on. I want to make this fit just a little bit better than that. All right, let's go. Well, look how pretty that is. We got the whole subframe in, sorry, not the subframe, we got the whole rad cradle just into place. We got it all bolted underneath here. We got the fenders on to see if she looks like nice and clean. I want this car to look good. I'm going to put a lot of effort into this thing, and I want it to look good. You know what? I'm tired of going to these shows with shitty freaking cars that everybody laughs at. I want this thing to look pretty. I'm going to put effort into it. I might even do a good paint job. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it's gonna look damn good because I'm tired of going to these shows and being the weird kid. So got the rad cradle in. I'm gonna try to leave this on. I want to see how a subframe looks in this. So we just dragged this thing out of the snow because it is like a freaking snowstorm outside right now, and we got it in here. And I'm going to take this steering rack off because I want to take this one off and put this one on because this one here has already got all my tie rod reinforcements, which I'm allowed. So we're going to pull this subframe, we're going to put it underneath here, maybe give it a quick sweep and use some ratchet straps and come-alongs to get it into place to try to see if we can get that one into this car, because I want this car out of the garage here in a bit so I can get my Tacoma back in here. So I'm always underneath the gun here, boys and girls, trying to get shit done for you here. So let's get that subframe into this car and see how well it looks to see if I can leave this on here or not. I'm really hoping I can, because that was some of the issue last year, is that everything came into my shifter. So if I make it go underneath the shifter, maybe it can stay. So let's see what this looks like. The fireplace decided to get a little bit loud, but this is why we test fit it. As you can see, the subframe is now hitting there, so we're going to get the torch and we're going to bend that out. Just like that one. See that? So that we can get the subframe the rest of the way up, and it actually pushed all this up. So we're going to cut this out with the torch, give ourselves a little bit of space, and then see if we can get it all back together, and then we can kind of get the subframe bolted in. But as you can see, I kept that little rain guard on there, so hopefully we can bolt all that back down. And that would be good. Why are you making so much racket? What don't you like? Huh? There you go. You happy now? Take that. We have one heck of a damn mess going on. But we got the rad support in. We got the subframe on. Still have to kind of do some stuff with the back subframe mounts because of how rotted it is. But yeah, it's in. So overly happy about that. Oh, that was a little sharp. So we got the whole rad cradle moved back in. We got the frame on the front of it cut off and everything ready for the bumper. And plenty of other stuff. We still have to get the front guard put onto this. I want to get a custom one made that says Zacks Workshop or something like that, or YouTube across it. And we'll see what I can get. But we do have some surprises. We have different radiator go inside this thing this year. And I'm going to have to sit down and really read the rules about this show coming up because I want to be competitive, guys. I'm tired of going to shows and being one of the softest cars at the show. I want to go there and I actually want to be competitive. I want to have a car that looks like it's going to be top 10. So I am going to be pushing this thing outside here probably in the next 2 weeks. So I'm just not sure how far we are going to get. If you guys want some Zacks Workshops merch, make sure you leave me a message. Get your shirts. I have everything from small to 3XL. I'm almost out of 3XLs though. So if you guys want your Zacks Workshop t-shirts, make sure that you guys get a hold of me on Facebook to order your shirts through Zacks Workshop on Facebook. So thanks for watching, everybody, and back to the video now. We got a lot done on this car, boys and girls. Coming down on the hoist. So I don't know if you guys know this, but it's winter time. And there's going to be no derbies for me for quite some time. All the spindles are so bent in this thing. They're just in there temporarily until I get new ones to put into it. Rear sub still has to be changed. Front spindles. Still a lot of work to this. We got the gas tank box in it. We got all the interior out of it. We got it all cleaned. Battery box sitting in it. Axles, rear coils. Dash out, pretty much everything cleaned out of it. But we're going to put this thing on hold for a while. And why am I putting it on hold? Last year, guys, I started a project and I got pretty far on it, but still some problems left to the project that we need to fix. Transmission issues. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the 4L60E rebuilt in it, switch it out to 4L80E. Or try to find a manual for it, but I'm just running out of money. But let's talk about this for a while. So we got the front end cut off. We got it shortened. That's about it in the front end. We got a sub in it. We got my good steering rack put into it. We got bent spindles put into it. We got the Avalon control arms off of it and Camry control arms onto it. We got a different master put onto it. And we got the brake lines all ran for it, which is nice. ABS gone. We got the entire dash out of it. We got the power seat hooked up so we can move it wherever we want, whenever we want. We got all the cage that we need put inside of it. We got the old steering column of the old Avalon. We got the speakers out of it, got the trunk out of it. Still got the rear bumper on it because I'm being a little lazy. But the only spot of the whole entire car that's not been cleaned is the trunk. So maybe I'll clean that before it goes over there. But honestly, the car is looking pretty good. And some things I'd like to do still, but realistically, I haven't read the rules yet. And I'm kind of not feeling the derby stuff. I'd like to take a 2-month break from it. We're going to get the Tacoma over here. And we're going to go maybe look at another project vehicle today. Or maybe 2 of them if I can work out a pretty screaming deal. Alright, so let's go see the Tacoma and what kind of shape it's in. But I just wanted to get you guys up to date on this. We did a little bit of videos on it, and as you can see, I'm just getting over a throat cold over the Christmas season here, but it'll be okay. But yep, we're getting ready for the derby season for 2023. We're going to come into this season with a vengeance and hopefully do pretty good. Oh, she's over here in her slumber, this Tacoma. So let's talk about this Tacoma. This is the Tacoma I bought for a parts truck for my Tacoma, and then when I got it home, I realized it was in really good shape. So then I kind of put a lot of money into it, and now it's got a 5.3 LS with a 4L60E in it. Now it still needs quite a bit of work, but that's that's okay. We're gonna go from there. But we're having some issues with it. We got one dead cylinder. I think it might be either the wiring or the coil packs to it. So we're going to do a little bit of looking into that. Might even be the spark plugs. I haven't changed in that. We got an exhaust leak, so I'm going to take all the exhaust pieces to work, and I'm going to fix them up. We have a transmission problem, so we're going to fix that. We have to run a heater core hoses. But unfortunately, to get the transmission out, we have to pull the intake off. We got like the whole intake plenum we got to pull off. Radiator, then pull the motor and transmission as one. It's not an easy job getting this in and out. But we have to get this from this side to that side. So we have to move all these. And they just put a new tax on fuel here in Ontario, so I maybe bought as much fuel as I could to try to make it so I could go a little bit with saving just a little bit of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to move all this junk to get at this, to put that in here. It's going to be a whole bunch of moving, that's for sure.
So let's get things going. We got to go start up the Walden to pick up this engine. And then, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of moving of engines today, apparently. Let's get started. So what we've done is we threw an engine on the back of this, so then we can get traction on the tires. We're going to hook this to this, and then pull it out. I think I still have to move that motor a bit. I think it's going to be a little bit too tight of a fit right there to fit out. And then we're going to take that and put it out here, and then put this into there. It's going to be like a huge charades or, I don't know, dancing party? What's the proper words for this? I don't think it's charades. I don't know if that will go any further. Well, boys and girls, we got the Tacoma over here. Now, I built this last winter, and I never really filmed it for you guys. I bought this, I just wanted to really enjoy the truck, building it. And I did. I took my time. I used a couple of my Derby connections to get some parts. Like the engine is out of a truck I bought for scrap. I ended up using the ICT bullet pulleys for the front of it, Corvette water pump, Corvette power steering, all that fun stuff. Had to build all my own headers, but I'm having some problems with them. So what I'm probably going to do is take those headers off, bring them to my job site, re-weld some of them because there's some exhaust leaks and stuff like that, and then try to grind them down because I think they warped a bit back there a lot. So the truck does run. We have one dead cylinder, and actually I think we might have two, but I think it's coil packs getting power to the coil. The truck is up on the hoist. It sits much lower than this, don't you worry. Let me bring her down for you here. I'm always been a fan of mini trucks. And believe it or not, when I was 16 years old, this truck was almost pretty much brand new, and I wanted one of these. So this was actually my dream truck when I was 16, and I wanted to lower it, and I wanted to do a small block Chevy. Well, it's kind of funny because here I am at the age of 34, and now it's got an LS in it, and it's mine. So some things that we've done is we took off the factory truck intake and put in this one. I don't want to hear all the comments saying that I lose horsepower with this. I know I lose horsepower, but I don't have to cut the hood by running this. So that's why I have this. All the harnesses had to been cut apart, so I'm going to pretty it up before I put it back together because how it was built was the computer was over here, but I wanted the computer in the factory computer location. Just kind of pretties it up a bit, I think, so I did that. Yeah. So the main problem with this right now is that I blew up the transmission. So we have to pull it out and get it rebuilt or upgrade it. It's got a 4L60E in it. Surprise, surprise, it blew up, right? So I'm going to pull out the 4L60E and we're either going to get it rebuilt or we're going to buy a 4L80E. I'm just really nervous that the 4L80 will not fit. So what we have to do to pull it out is we have to take off the intake. We have to take off the actual air intake, take off the actual metal intake, then we have to pull the radiator, then we have to take off the exhaust manifolds and take off the motor mounts. It's a big job getting this out of here. I want to maybe do a little bit more work to the steering because I'm not overly happy with how it is, but there's not a whole lot I can do to that. So we'll see what I can do, and I'd like to see if I can make it any better than what it is, because it's not the best and it kind of rubs the exhaust manifold and I'm not overly happy with it. We do have power steering lines in this. Again, not happy with how they are, but they're in there. We got fuel lines, we got a fuel pressure regulator, we got the new pump inside the tank. We do not have the upper rad hose on, but we have the lower rad hose made. We have the steering reservoir in here and all plumbed up. We just have to, we're starting to take stuff apart. My plan is to have the upper hose come off, come underneath, do a sharp 90 and hook to this one. Honestly, I've got pretty much everything I want done to it. It's just, I need to make it drive. This was a manual truck, and what we did is I ordered a whole bunch of parts in from Alberta. So now, because we have the automatic in it, we have the automatic shifter and everything in it. We have it all set up and everything in there negotiated until it works. So a whole bunch of factory parts, and I have all the factory interior for it, so I'd like to put it all back together. It's just, that's what I want to do this winter. I want to drive this truck next summer pretty much. So we're going to start tearing this thing apart and pretty much taking it all back out and starting from step one. so I can show you guys everything I've done. So let's get it to the point where it's ready to take out today.